Remember when you were little and you heard these sayings like, there's nothing to it but to do it. If you believe it, you can achieve it. All of those things where it's talking about thinking and doing. Like if you put your mind to something, it will happen. If you see it in your mind's eye, it will come to pass. If you build it, they will come. That type of thing. And when I think about the broke mindset, the thoughts of scarcity, the thoughts of survival, it kind of puts you in a place of fear, in a place of lack, and it keeps you there. It has a strong hold on you.
Mindset, it's all up here. Quit having a broke mentality. Quit saying I'm broke. Quit saying I don't have any money. Quit saying I don't have what you don't have, and start saying what you do have. Start saying what you're working towards. Look towards the future. Be positive. Even before I had any money, I placed myself around successful people. I learned how to talk in those rooms. You all are talent. You are going to be around so many different people, and if you don't have the right language, you don't have the right attitude, you don't have the right mindset, you will fail.
Have you ever heard of a broke mindset? When you're only thinking about scarcity and you're only thinking about ways to survive, you're thinking about lack on a constant basis. But if you also think about growth, think about possibilities, think about wealth, you start to turn some things around when you're thinking about things differently.
Desperation repels wealth. And neuroscience backs this up. When you're desperate, your nervous system is in survival mode, okay? Your brain narrows, your decision shrinks, your body signals urgency, fear, and lack. Everything in this world is governed by the law of detachment. And I mean everything, and yes, especially money, okay? When you detach from money, you attract it effortlessly. You don't need the money to validate you, you don't need to save you, you don't need it to calm you. You just kind of detach from the money. And I know that's hard when you're trying to make money, like that doesn't make any sense. But I promise you, you have to learn to detach. I might have $0 in my account, and I might have 10 million. You will never know. Money doesn't flow towards the person who wants it the most. It flows to the person whose nervous system can hold on to it. Be pretentious, is what I'm trying to say. Identity first. Behavior and reality eventually will follow. So, to wrap up manifesting, here's what we need to do. Detach from the outcome. Regulate your nervous system. Become someone who doesn't need money to feel safe. Remember, identity first. Behavior and reality will catch up. Look at me. You cannot tell me I'm not a rich woman. I am. That's how I carry myself since I was a child. That's just who I am, okay? It's not magic. It's alignment.
If you can see it in your mind's eye, it can come true. It will come to pass. If you build it, they will come. Those types of things. It's all about changing your mind.
Imagine making your whole 9-to-5 salary in 1 quarter. I live by a motto that says, God, if you don't do anything else for me, you've done enough. I used to be paycheck to paycheck. Now every day is payday.
It's all about changing your mind. If you believe it, you can achieve it. And you have to play that back over and over again. And it becomes habitual. It becomes something that you're always thinking about. If you're thinking about sadness, all that's going to gravitate towards you is sadness. If you start to flip some things, it's going to take time. It's nothing that's going to happen overnight. But you need to change your mindset in order to see things differently. I also think it talks about reframing your language, what you speak, not only to yourself, but to others. You want to reframe your language where you're not saying, I am broke, I can't afford this. That just is like negativity replaying in your mind. So you're saying those words, you're regurgitating it in your brain, and you're thinking that.
Listen, operating from a lack mindset will keep you broke. There is a difference between being smart with your money and being scared of it. Being cheap isn't always wise. It often is rooted in fear. Fear that you don't make enough, fear that you don't have enough. When you go through life expecting lack, you will always find it. Your mind is your personal lawyer. It will always seek out the evidence to support what you believe. That's why what you think, how you speak to yourself, how you feel about yourself is so important, because your brain will always find ways to support it. Start reframing your language. Stop saying I'm broke, or that I can't afford that. Try that doesn't align with my priorities, or I'm choosing to invest in other things. The words you use about money set the tone for how you treat it and how it flows back to you. Wealth truly starts with believing you are capable of earning more, attracting more, and managing more. Don't let survival mode become your identity. Don't penny pinch your way through life. Reframe how you think, reframe how you show up in this world. The mind is so much more powerful than you think. And this isn't just about money, because oftentimes how you approach one thing is how you approach everything. So if you overall operate just in a lack mindset, this will apply to all areas of your life. And we don't want that.
So a broke mindset focuses on scarcity, on lack, on survival. A growth mindset focuses on growing, right? That's the name, growth. A growth mindset embraces learning, risk, building, things like that, right?
You got to take a risk or you're going to be doing the same thing for the rest of your life. Like if you tired of that 9 to 5 job, you got to pour more into your business. You got to stop saying you ain't got enough time. It is what it is. You got to make time. You got to figure it out. You got to find some time. If you got to leave your 9 to 5 job, leave your 9 to 5 job. You got to bet on God. You got to take that risk. That's what a risk is. A risk is not knowing what the outcome going to be, but I'm finna try it anyway because I'm tired of being stuck in the same position over and over again. I'm tired of living the same life year after year. That's what a risk is. A risk is telling yourself, man, I'm finna get it done. You ain't talking about change no more. You actually putting action behind your words. That's what a risk is. You can't be scared. The ones who take risks are the ones who always end up making it. The ones who always end up changing their life. They're the ones who always live the life that they want to live. They're the ones who always get the better end of the stick. And you wonder how they living a good life. They out here taking risks. They're doing what they got to do. They locking in. They buckling down. They focusing on their goals.
Now, remember in the previous video where I said something about the lottery winners who go broke because of how they are spending, because they never changed their mindset from one of scarcity and lack and being broke to realizing that they were wealthy. They just continued on that same cycle as far as spending money the same way they were spending when they didn't really have it. And they ended up right back where they started from, broke. It's because of mindset. How did we end up back here? Wrong decisions. Again, that's in the mind.
Here are 5 things I did to get out of a poverty mindset. First, I started to educate myself. I did this by reading financial literacy books. One of my favorites is Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Another one is I Will Teach You to Be Rich. And I also would watch different videos, sermons, podcasts, etc. that would promote a growth mindset. I would love to see millionaires talk about how they became a millionaire. And one thing about it, they always will tell you how they failed their way to success. And that brings me to number 2, which is I stopped caring about what people would think about me. A lot of people would be quick to say, oh, I don't care what nobody think about me. Yes, you do. That's why you won't post the content. That's why you won't do something outside of your norm. You are not doing the things that will literally lead you to a better, higher version of yourself. More than likely it's because you care about what people think. So for me, what it looked like was not letting shame stop me. Because I learned experience is the biggest teacher. Experience has always been my biggest teacher. So if I'm ashamed to fail, if I'm ashamed for somebody to see my downfalls, that is literally hindering me. That's hindering my growth. So I got out of that mindset and it literally pushed me into a growth mindset. It got me out of a poverty mindset. And that's how I was able to grow my platform so big because I stopped caring what people thought about me. The third thing I did was I started making sure the things that I spent my money on was either beneficial to me or it was something that I truly wanted. A lot of times people fail to realize you will spend your money on something for instant gratification or to get likes on social media or to see what somebody would think about you. Not truly taking the time to think like, will this bring me a return on my investment? Like basically, is this an investment? Will I get anything back when I make this purchase? Or am I just going to post it on Instagram, get a few likes, and then my money just whatever? So me personally, I made sure the things that I started spending my money on was beneficial. More than likely, if I spend my money on something now, it's an investment. It's going to bring me money back. Or it's something that I always wanted. I worked hard for. I truly desired it. And whether I posted it on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, whether I posted it or not, I was truly happy with my purchase. So that's another thing. The fourth thing I did was I set clear financial goals. Listen, you cannot work towards anything if you don't even know what you're working towards. So setting clear financial goals not only helped me to manage my finances, but it also gave me a clear direction of what it is that I was working towards, what it is that I was doing. The first thing I would think before I make a purchase is this leading me towards my goal or is this taking me further away from my goal? And basically that just helped me make better decisions. The fifth thing that I did was I engaged with people that had a positive mindset. I learned if I want to get out of poverty mindset, I can't continue to have conversations with people who stuck in a poverty mindset. I can't continue to have these conversations with these type of people and expect a different result. And honestly, when you get out of that poverty mindset, it's crazy because you can hear it in other people's talk. You can hear it in the things that they promote. You can hear it in the things that they say. You can hear it in the things that they encourage. So it's like, at first you might not have been able to hear it because you were in that poverty mindset. So anything that they said, it just sounded like, oh yes, I got somebody on my side. But when you get out of that poverty mindset, you realize, I don't think I should go on that trip. I don't think I should go buy that luxury bag. I think I should sit this one out. That's when you start making those choices that'll literally lead to a better you. So that's 5 things that I did that got me out of a poverty mindset and that helped me to become a better person, a higher, greater version of myself.
And we want to start to change some things around where we're thinking in a different way. We want to build ourselves up. Remember when you were little and your teacher would say, if you believe it, you can achieve it. If you build it, they will come, like that movie. But yeah, if you change your mind and you can see things in your mind's eye, if you build something, they will come. You can think about the future and you see it in a more positive light. Positive things will come back to you. I believe it. I've seen it happen for myself, but I can see the skepticism in that too. So I'm not saying that, this is how you do it and this is the only way to do it. Now, we still need the money. We still need the money for the foundation. So if I'm actually looking negative in my bank account, I know that I need money, right? I'm not saying that that's not the reality of the situation. However, we want to make sure that we are growing at the same time. We are thinking about the future on how we can make some changes that will help us become successful. What is the first thing you think about when someone says the word money? What comes to mind? I got to pay my bills. My bank account is low. Do you think about all the negativity that comes around money, or do you think about the positive things? I have access to this. I can do this now. I have this. Oh, my bills are paid. They're always going to be paid. The language changes for a lot of people. Some people have a mindset of scarcity and lack. Some people have a mindset of wealth and growth. It's all about the mind. Of course, it's also about what that balance looks like today. But you have to see yourself later in the future and say, you know what, this balance is going to be XYZ or whatever it is in your mind. You have to start there first, because without learning how to climb the ladder in your brain of success or whatever you see for yourself, without learning to change your mind, you will stay where you are. That's how I feel. Like, I feel as if I didn't go for my degrees, or if I didn't go for any type of certifications, I would probably still be in the same spot I was before all of that happened, which was in a scarcity survival type situation. But because I was able to change my mind and to think about my future, to even see my future before it even happened, it helped me change my surroundings. It helped me be able to succeed in life as far as what I feel is success. And I'm going to continue to climb because that's what I see in my mind. I can see more success going forward with everything that I touch, with everything that I do. I see success. Do you?